Nathan Day in the building, yeah. Let me say it as it is. Let me say it as it is. I owe Jesus everything. I'ma say it as it is.
So Slow Drive is another single from this album. I think this is the latest single. It came out very recently, either earlier this week or the week before, something like that. It's very recent. I haven't heard Slow Drive before, so let's see what it's like. I'm getting J Hus vibes with this one.
That's the motto, never did hide it.
Got that old school
they want tests, I tell them come try
instrumental.
It. Say they're the best, but I just don't buy it. I came back around with a new drip.
That bass guitar, man.
My cup always runs over. Weave through this life till I find closure. No hair on my head, I might buy a bowler.
Yeah.
Can't catch disease when in work mode.
Wait. I'm missing bars. Let me rewind.
No hair on my head, I might buy a bowler. Can't catch disease when...
This guy, man. Hey, whenever someone has enough humor, like to make fun of themselves, it's respectable because it means they're secure in who they are. So, I rate that.
First home, but this ain't all what it seems, bro. I still got paid by that big.
By the way, this whole thing about Marc being bald, I don't know why I don't know if that's a choice or it's just the condition of his hair. I don't know, but man still looks good. Let me just put it out there, man. Being bald, not everyone can pull it off, but I think Marc pulls it off quite well. So, big up to you, Marc, for rocking the look, man. For whatever reason, you're rocking the look.
Can't catch disease when in work mode. Brought me the keys to my first home.
Congrats, by the way. Bro. It's nice to see real rappers talking about buying homes. Like, a lot of rappers out here, especially young rappers, they're flexing, saying, oh, I got this, I got that, but they're still in debt. You know, even if they're able to buy expensive things, the real question is at what cost? How many dollars or pounds are you in debt? You know, have you got good credit score? Are you building your savings? Are you buying, like, just because people flex with expensive things doesn't mean they're doing well financially. So, especially to the young people watching this, I sound old when I say that. Like I'm not a young person myself, but those of you, especially in your late teens or like very early 20s, and you're still infatuated with the chains and all these things that certain rappers have, it's smoke and mirrors. You don't know what cases and what debts they're fighting with behind closed doors. So yeah, don't be infatuated by that. So the fact that Marc is talking about buying his first home. I don't know how old Marc is. I think he's in his late 20s or early 30s even. I don't know. But that is a real flex. Like, in real life, I've actually bought a home and I'm not swimming in debt. Like, I've got a relatively good credit score. My savings are in check. You know, I'm living within my means. That's the real flex. So big up to you, Marc, for that one. This is what we need. A bit of melody on the hook. That's what we need. They can't break us down. See, that's catchy, man. Simple. Yeah. J Hus vibes. I love it.
If you only rap about cars and checks, everybody says that they're up next.
I'm loving that bass guitar.
Raised on reggae, so I show my respect. Always ready when it's time to collect. Fresh
I'm missing bars, man.
Talking about crepes.
Wait, let me get the preps line. What did he say?
I'm trying to bet. Raised on reggae, so I show my respect. Always ready when it's time to collect. Fresh and clean, I ain't talking about crepes. Flip the scene when I come in and step. I'm trying to bet a new chapter. I can see my route, I don't need city mapper. Been doing this from when Spurs wore Kappa. But there's no lies, I ain't in a that chat. I ain't never carry. They can't bring us down.
I'm liking the vibe of this song. Again, song's called Slow Drive. And then hearing that second verse as well, it's like, take your time, man. Do this thing properly. Stop rushing through life. Don't stop getting lost in the wahala and just keeping up with the Joneses. Take your time, know your value, know your worth, and do things properly. You know, have some maturity about what you do. So I like that. Let me just like the songs that I like so far. Glass Half Empty, strong opener. Carpe Diem, it's not outstanding, but it's listenable. It's okay. I don't really like Roulette. Purpose, it's just an interlude. Heart was okay. I think I'll give it a heart. It's okay. The fact that it's got tides in it kind of makes it good. But Slow Drive so far is probably my favorite song. Anyway, let's carry on.
Slow drive, all I wanna do is live my life.
All I wanna do is live my life.
They can't bring us down.
They can't bring us down. Hey.
All I wanna do is
Yo, the bass guitarist is going crazy, man. And the piano, the horns, trumpet. Is it trumpet? Saxophone? I don't know. Fam. Nah, this is a vibe. You hear that bass guitar? You hear them chords, fam? Yo, who produced this song, man? Who's the producer? Call the producer, fam. Juggling. Juggling's another strong song. I've heard Juggling already, but I'm gonna play it again. This one's another top track from the album so far, I think.
Can't forget where I come from, CRO, yeah, I call that home. Used to hit Tennyson Park with the old school ballers, Emerson Tone. Come a long way from
got a similar vibe to Kush T by Guvna B.
Now I'm out here doing the life that I live is calm, more time it ain't that eventful. You might see me in Tesco trying to get a juice and a little green lentils.
I like that. You might see me in Tesco trying to get a juice and a little green lentils. Again, simple everyday life, man. These rappers want to rap about some next unrelatable life that doesn't even hit you. Like, this is what I like about Marc, man. He's an approachable guy. That's the vibe I get from his music, Like he said, why does no one care about the real? I don't know why I had to sing it right there, but you get what I'm saying. Like, what? Come on, everyday life, man.
I thank God that he gives me a little more strength when things get mental. I get anxious when things get penciled. So I'm clear in the diary. But stressed now, every night might come late. Got things every day, I'm juggling. Still thank God for the food and I plate and strength on the days we're struggling. Put a lot in to keep this pace. Every 5 months so there's no buffering.
This is a decent hook because it's got the delivery, it's got the cadence.
Replies might come late. Got things every
So
day,
it's a solid hook. You're gonna give me a hook, either give me melody or give me energy, either one of the two, or both. But a hook without those two things is weak, in my opinion.
I thank God for the food and the plate. Ain't always done great. Month to month it got techie, I still remember those days.
Guvna B.
Had to unpack A, but ain't got great. Came through the fire and dungeons. My son's got milk in abundance.
Hey, shout out Ezra. My son's got milk in abundance. You don't hear flexes like that every day in rap music, but yeah. Again, both artists are talking about their humble beginnings. Again, embracing the everyday. There's all these different aspects of life. I'm juggling. Obviously, Guvna B, real name Isaac. He's a dad, soon to be dad of 2. So congrats in advance to Emma, his wife, who's about to give birth. But yeah, it's just wholesome, man, to see positive people in this thing called rap music, just raising their sons, raising their daughters, and letting that actually be translated in the music, right? Because we have a whole bunch of young rappers out here, Little Baby, and a whole bunch of rappers. Even in the UK, we have a whole bunch of rappers who are dads, right? But where is that fatherhood maturity in their music, So anyway, that's, again, I feel like within Christian hip hop, that's where we can be role models and actually rap about the life that we live. Again, coming back to that whole message of authenticity and, just being who God created you to be and unapologetically showing that in your music, You ain't got to tell lies to people to make your music interesting. So, especially when you have God in your life. Anyway, let's keep going.
There ain't no need for assumptions. This is legacy.
Learned
behavior, destiny, the grace of savior. I just wish that my dad could have reaped the fruits of his labor. Yeah.
So of course, I've mentioned in previous videos, the We Got Love project. Governor's dad passing away, or Isaac's dad passing away. And that's real, man. That's real.
PTSD. I'm a workaholic. I'm in an ergonomic. Trying to murder the profit. It's getting worse.
I like that cadence.
Flows that I churn out. Been an early bird, getting a worm out. Can't see how it's gonna work out. So I'm taking it slow, get the word out. Yeah, seems counterproductive. Trying to be a good husband, no. Tutu's Netflix, tutu chilling, tutu
Netflix.
Seems counterproductive.
It seems counterproductive, but it is helpful.
Tutu's Fredo, swear down it.
And again, that's another relatable thing, you know, especially when he talks about being a workaholic as well in that verse. And it's like, look, you're grinding, but you need balance in your life, man. And the more you grow up, the more you realize how important balance is. So take care of yourselves, guys. Simple things like, you know, and I'm pretty bad at this as well, to be honest. I'm always working on stuff, and like I rarely ever sit down with the family to watch TV, or, you know, it's just the little things, man. Find little things to do to distress, recharge, and then that actually helps you be more productive. So yeah, man, real stuff.
Got things every day, I'm juggling. Still thank God for the food and I plate and strength for the days we're struggling.
I like that vocal sample in the background. Okay, next one, Wembley. But yeah, let's see what this song's about. We've got slow vibes here. This might be an introspective one. Let me like Juggling as well, by the way.
Fighting with myself.
Okay.
I quit and chase the money or submit to something else. We look and see the wicked that they prosper and have wealth. Your mind tells you to chase it while your soul is screaming help. Up in a place where many...
Your mind tells you to chase it while your soul is screaming help. So again, he's talking similar kind of theme to the previous song, juggling all these different aspects of life. Now he's getting deeper. He's talking about the conflict between the mind and the heart, man. Yeah, let's see what he says.
People live for self. Single mothers struggle while in peace are giving help. Expenses for the rich whilst many poor fend for themselves.
Okay.
Faced by this reality, some turn to raising hell. South London where the streets are kind of rough. As a young boy, I was fearful of...
Wembley is also an area in London.
A couple guys who started bagging boxes and that stuff. I stayed far away because I was fearful of my mum. But it weren't the same for some. Dealt a bad hand long before life begun. I guess that's what happens when you're born in the slums. Men are still boys and the boys die young. Live their lives in the front,
But solid first verse. A lot of substance. Talking about his upbringing again. Did he talk about his mum? I kind of missed it. I might have to rewind. But yeah, man. You know, I don't know what family situation he was born into. Unfortunately, all too often I hear that the narrative is unfortunately for many black families here in the UK anyway, and I think it's similar in the US, the lack of the black man in the household. Either he dies early, or he left early in the family, or he broke up, there's been a divorce. I hear about these stories all too often in the black community. So and not even just black communities, there's even in the white working class here in the UK, I know quite a few white friends who have grown up in broken families as well. And yeah, man, we just live in a broken society. And as Christians, we know that when you find your fulfillment in Christ, and you know why you're here, and you know that even if you're born into poverty, that God can still provide for you. Obviously, again, it's refreshing to hear another CHH artist kind of talk about this real life stuff that's happening and contextualizing the gospel within that as well.
I guess that's what happens when you
grew up in the slums.
Men are still boys and the boys die young.
And the boys die young. Sad. This is the first time we get female backing vocals in the album. Got to see that change.
Rapping ain't the only ways out, but they're the only two options that might come with the clout, and that's what...
Yeah, it's unfortunate, these stereotypes of what it takes to get out of the hood. Either you ball or you rap, you know, or you move weight in the streets. Like, either one of those three, that's your only way out. And it's sad to see, you know, when we look back through the decades that hip-hop culture has been existing in, this trope hasn't changed much. We're still talking, in 2022, think about it, we're still talking about black boys being incarcerated early, and we're still talking about police brutality. But then on the other side of it, there's still things that we're not doing as the black community, right? We need to hold ourselves accountable. As the saying says, it takes a village to raise a child. Instead of having this crabs in a bucket mentality, what are we doing in our black communities to be the change we want to see? How are we mentoring our young people? That's everyone's responsibility, not just the teacher's responsibility, not just the youth worker's responsibility, not just the pastor's responsibility. Yeah? Not even just the parents. I mean, parents have their responsibility, but if you can see a young person is lost in your neighborhood or in your community, you also have a responsibility to help them. Everyone help each other, man. We can't keep saying, the police, the this, the that, and then we use that as an excuse to not hold ourselves accountable. I'm tired of that narrative. We can do better and we will do better. You know, so sorry, I just had to say that because this is real, man.
What if we all chose to build community? Tell people how we cared before the eulogy.
Just what I was saying, build community.
How it used to be, but you can never get what's in the past. That's why today was given for a start, so I'm making sure I use it. Like Cupid, that can never mean that I was stupid. If your mind's too open, they'll pollute it. At times I'm really ruthless.
Again, balance, maturity. You know, don't be so open-minded that your brain falls out. That's what he's saying, you know. Move with caution. Be smart, you know. Show love, but like, love has boundaries. So be smart out here. Yeah, you know, be positive, but put in place healthy boundaries. You can't. Not everyone can be in your circle. Not everyone is trustworthy. So pray that God gives you wisdom to navigate life and to be nice to people and to be kind. You can be loving to people, but at the same time, put boundaries in place as well. Solid tune so far. Up there with the stars shine bright, down here it's gonna bright. Are we gonna see that change?
My people gotta fight for their cause.
Yep.
They don't even wanna see us draw.
Yep.
So how can we win? That's real stress, like forgetting your pin. Strength in numbers, so we never give in.
Yeah, football and rap are not the only ways out of the hood. Any young person listening to this, but especially any ethnic minority young person, you don't have to ball, you don't have to rap, you don't have to go viral on TikTok in order to make it, okay? You can do well in school, you can do that apprenticeship, or you can get that placement, or like, there's options out here, you know? You can be a coder, you can be a barrister, you can do whatever you want. Don't let your environment tell you what you can and can't be. Anyway, I was preaching there, but Worries is the next one. I heard a little bit of melody there. I like that. Let me just rewind a bit.
Ask me how I'm doing, I say blessed. Feel like Hardy brothers find me like I'm Jeff. Any vibe that I don't like is living left. And they also be like, ooh,
okay.
I ain't really worried about things. And me also be like, ooh, I ain't really worried about a thing.
I like that.
My last one.
Yeah.
Learning in this game, you might get past them. Then they see you pop in and they want
I'm liking the strings, man.
But you didn't show love to my last song. I ain't bitter though. Me, I break the mold.
Hey,
busy days and busy brothers find me like I'm Jeff.
This one's getting a heart as well.
Can't stay down now, I'm too bossy when I step.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm happy with my lane and with my lifestyle.
Now he's bitten.
Big man, please keep with it. I left that game like Vidic.
Yeah.
I ain't dumb, so I know my limits. See me with the wife and the Fanta. These man might get shot like Blanca, cause I ain't out in the field, no camera.
I like
just
that
take
riff.
my time and I make things happen. God's been guiding, man. Yes, clear like captions. Do what I say, then say what I do. Right there is a pattern. And I show these man what's real, not down with the acting.
Yeah.
And thank God for choosing me.
Solid second verse there.
I ain't really worried about things. And me boss, I be like,
That's a bop. That's a bop. One of my favorites, definitely. Very vibey. Probably the most vibey song on here. I'm liking that there was some solid rapping on there as well as the auto-tune. Now we've got the next song, Never Enough, track 10, nearly at the end of the album. Okay, he's back to the spitting again.
I liked books, they would call me a boffin. Now I write hooks, but it ain't like a lofkin. Can't be shook when there's work to do. Don't wanna have regrets when I'm 82. I'm just glad I didn't break, trying to get even. Still clinging on to faith.
Break even, I like that word.
Giving up on this path is the only truth. But somehow it's still never enough.
That's what ambition does to you, man.
Nah, it's never enough. Looking at my life, trying to make change. But somehow it's still never enough.
Somehow it's still never enough.
It's never enough.
Yeah, even when you come far, you know, you beat the odds, you be the change you want to see, you make it out of your environment in a positive way. There's just something about this monster called ambition, right? You know, somehow as human beings, we always want more and more and more. And we beat ourselves up sometimes. Sometimes we forget how far we come. And that's not just for musicians or creatives. Like any human being, when you make progress in your life, what the enemy will often do is tempt us to belittle what we've already done by God's grace. And it's like, oh, it's not enough. And it's bad because if you think about it, you're never satisfied. Even from a mental health standpoint, that's not really healthy. You're more likely to get anxiety or depression it's all the little thoughts of, yeah, I'm not satisfied, or this isn't what it should be. Like, being intentional on your thoughts is so important. Like when the Bible talks about be transformed by the renewal of your mind, like renewing your mind is a daily task in itself, man. Like, to monitor what's going on up here, that takes a lot of work, a lot of self-awareness and a lot of reflection, and maybe even opening up to someone you trust to kind of get things out of your system and get a broader perspective on things, you know? Like, yeah, man, the mind is a tricky thing, and you have to think about what you're thinking about, man, because the devil can have you out here completely missing what God is doing in your life, what he's already done in your life. Like gratefulness, if you're able to be grateful and remember how far God has brought you, that changes your trajectory, man. That changes your mindset moving forward. So it sounds simple, but man, just remind yourself of how far God has brought you, because even for me, I forget it sometimes, you know. Yeah, man. That's the lesson from this song so far. Like, the devil will have us thinking that it's never enough. What God has already done for us and what he is doing for us is not enough. But that's a lie, man. So whenever you hear that voice in your head say, this isn't enough, or this isn't good enough, I'm not satisfied with this, blah, 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 stop and think, where is that thought coming from? Is that my voice? Is that really me? Is that the real me? Or is that voice coming from my parents or my teacher or this person or that person or the enemy? You know, think about where those thoughts are coming from. You know, again, another scripture says, I take my thoughts captive, you know, and I make them obedient to Christ, which is a lot easier said than done, to be fair. But it's a scripture I come back to every once in a while, and it keeps me grounded. So yeah, take captive every thought, man.
Yeah. I was having fun building castles in sand until the rain came down and then nothing could stand. So now I'm building firm on the rock.
There you go.
I wasn't watching how I almost lost the plot.
Have a solid foundation.
Always been different from the flock.
And Christ.
Talk cheap, but I'm still weighing up the cost. Yeah. Can't see what's there to you. It's never enough.
Again, the hook could be a bit better, but he's saying what he needs to say, so it's alright. That's okay. I wouldn't say it's a standout track for me. The message is there, but it is a little bit forgettable to me. I don't see myself replaying this song loads of times, but the message is there. Okay, last song, the longest track on the album, Hope, featuring Josh Kai. Again, this might be the deepest song on here, who knows? Let's see what Marc has left to say on this closing track. You can hear kids in the background.
Another day, another obstacle. My people still standing tall. The thing we've been holding on to for so long.
Yeah, what's that?
In the end, we'll win, cause what don't break you makes you strong. Hope, yeah, I need it. Even though I can't see it.
I like the melody on this. I like the harmony.
Hope, yeah, I need it. Even when I can't see it all.
Hope, yeah, I need it.
Even when I can't see it.
Hope, yeah, I need it.
Hope, yeah, I need it. I need it.
Trying to remember what I do this thing for. Every time I reach a goal, I only wanna get more. And that was cool.
Again, that same theme of
but now it's bigger
pursuing
things,
more.
I'm spending more time on my craft and anxiety is kicking in.
Yeah, anxiety.
Can you dream when the bills are? Put that on my grave, never chase the clout.
Yeah.
Same in the rain or if there's a drought. And of that I'm more sure than Geordie, and that's all I know.
Another day, another obstacle.
I'm more sure than Geordie.
But people still standing
Geordie
tall.
sure.
The laugh to one thing we've been holding on to for so long.
Josh is doing a good
In
job
the
on the
end,
hook,
we'll
I
win,
think. He's
'cause
got a
what
good
don't
voice.
break you makes you strong.
I like this bit.
Yeah, I need it.
That harmony bit.
Even
I
though I
like
can't see it.
Hope, yeah, I need it.
Even
When I can't see it. Hope, yeah, I need it.
Prayer, then I leave my house. I see
Like
my
in a
brothers
piano.
five and then it makes me proud. Can remember days at the uni house, heating only on for a short amount. Jez has probably got some music.
Okay, he's talking about uni, heating on the on for a short amount. Boy, is that relatable, especially in these expensive times that we're in right now. But okay, he's getting in a bit more detail about his story.
Playing loud, and then it's probably in his books he's banging out. And who saw that we can make something of our lives? It ain't no surprise when I look and see how far we come. I look at my friends and I see their drive, and I really know that I can't quit until it's all done.
Yeah.
This is me that God designed, ready for whatever on this crazy ride that's called life, yeah.
don't break you makes you strong. Hope, yeah, I need it.
That percussion. And then back to the sound of the kids playing, which symbolizes hope. That is the end of Marc Jones' debut album, Glass Half Empty. So you can see from the hearts which songs I like. To be honest, I might have to take away a heart for heart, ironically. No heart for heart. It might grow on me, but in relation to the more standout songs, heart doesn't stand out to me that much. My opinion might change as I give it a few more listens, but what do I think of the album? I think the album really gives me a lot more context to who Marc Jones is, what he stands for. Again, a lot of recurring themes that come about is creativity and just the struggle of having ambitions, managing the gift that God has given you. I think that's a big theme, is managing the gift that God has given you and the weight that can come with that. And I like how open he is about that. I like how relatable he is in his music. He's not flexing too much, he's just saying things as they are. Yeah, he's got a similar vibe to Melvillous to me. That kind of stay focused, keep grinding, stay humble, keep putting God first, and embrace the journey, embrace the grind, embrace the everyday process, and be grateful for where you're at, as well as being hopeful and ambitious for where you want to go. So Melvillous is another big artist here in the UK and CHH. He's been on the Reach Records playlist. So go and check out Melvillous, because he gives me Melvillous vibes here. But yeah, man, standout tracks for me, you can see him. Glass Half Empty is a good opener. Carpe Diem, blah blah blah. Slow Drive. In fact, what was my favorite from my first listen? It's a tough one. Wembley is probably the best song. Generally, it's got all the components there. Good lyrics, good melody in the hook, good production. So all round, in terms of how good the song is, I think the top two are either Slow Drive or Wembley. Hope is a bit longer, so I don't know. It's between those three. I think Slow Drive, Wembley, and Hope. They're just great songs. Like, they have everything. They've got good lyrics from Marc. good verses, good melody in the hooks, good production. So those are kind of the standout tracks for me. Juggling is great. Guvna B's guest verse is great. Heart, it's okay. Worries is definitely the most melodic track on this song, and I think it's the most vibey. I can definitely see replay value in that one. But I think what Marc is good at, again, is that relatability in his lyrics. And obviously his production is A1 as well. I think where Marc kind of falls flat sometimes is with the hooks. I know I kept talking about that. I guess the easy or not so easy thing, depending on how you look at it, for a rapper to do with hooks is to just get some other singer or some other artist to do the hook. So that works when it's done well, but I think I also appreciate when rappers put in more effort in their hooks and either have it carry energy and carry potent words, or you do the melodic thing. But when it's you just speaking monotone and there's not much energy in it, then it doesn't really feel like a hook. And I think sometimes Marc's lyrics and hooks can be a little bit repetitive, and sometimes with the subject matter, I think he could be a lot more lyrical. I appreciate his lyrics are kind of easy to understand, and he does have wordplay and bars and a few double entendres here and there, but I want him to push his pen game a little bit more, which might be a little bit toxic for me to say, because already we can see that he puts a lot of time and energy into his music, and he does feel a lot of pressure as it is. But it sounds like with this album, he's getting a healthier relationship with his music, which is good for his first album, because I think a lot of the time when we hear a first album from an artist, we hear them trying everything. And normally with a first album, an artist is really striving and they're trying to prove themselves. And it doesn't sound like Marc is trying to prove himself in this album as much as he is embracing who he already is in Christ and who God has made him to be. So in terms of his personal journey, it seems he's had a lot of time to reflect on himself and just accept himself and be comfortable in his own skin. So if that's the case, I'm happy for him. And that kind of self-acceptance comes through him being honest. And the title of the album shows that honesty, Glass Half Empty, because he still kind of feels half empty sometimes as a creative. And I think that comes in waves when you create, or when you do any kind of work, that is bigger than yourself. You do feel glass half empty, but out of that pain, he's been able to make some good music, and these are playable, these are replayable, don't get me wrong, like they're still listenable. If they were to come on in my song, I wouldn't skip, but I think moving forward, I'd like to see him maybe take a few more risks with his artistry. I like it when he uses a bit of melody, but his strong point is the bars. And even with the bars, I think he needs to keep working on his pen game, and that it comes with time. The more you write, the more you observe life and push your artistry, and the more you practice, the more studio sessions you do, the sharper your pen gets. And we've seen that with Guvna B, for example. His pen game has been getting sharper, particularly since Secret World onwards. But I'm happy for Marc. Marc, big up yourself. Well done for pushing through the hard times in your career and in your life in general. And I'm sure putting together this body of work had its own fair share of struggles. So big ups to you, big ups to all the producers, the writers, the backing vocalists, the features, everyone who's contributed to this body of work. Marc, you should be proud of yourself. Well done. And I can see, to be fair, I can see a lot of these songs doing well on stage. So big up yourself for that. So if you want to check out Marc's music, again, I thoroughly recommend check out this album for yourself. Stream Glass Half Empty in the link in the written description for this video. Follow him on socials as well. And of course, if you've been watching this video up until this point, that means you like my content. So if you like my content, you know what you should do. Like, comment your thoughts. on everything that I've shared, all the topics that I've talked about in the video as well. Comment your thoughts down below. If you've heard the album already, I want to hear your thoughts on it as well. Did you like the same songs that I like? Did you like different songs? Let's have a conversation. Drop it in the comments. And of course, subscribe, man, and hit that bell for the notifications so you don't miss the drop for the next few videos. Thanks for the love, guys. You can see the Christmas tree behind me. So it's that time of year. Again, take care of yourselves during this time of year. I know it's hard for a lot of us because of finances, and you know, we might have lost loved ones this year, so we're not spending time with them at Christmas. Whatever you're going through at this time of year, know the reason for the season is Jesus Christ. He can be your peace in this time. So lean on him, stay grateful, stay blessed, stay safe. Peace.